Hi everyone, my name is Christopher Cedos. I am a personal injury lawyer in Miami, Florida, and today on the news I saw that the very first lawsuit has been filed in the FIU Bridge collapse case. It's a lawyer up in Orlando, and he represents a bicyclist that was injured when the bridge came down. So as I was doing more research on the internet and I was reading different articles about it, I noticed that a lot of the comments that people were leaving were that it's too soon to file a lawsuit and this lawyer is a vulture for doing that. And so I thought I would address that in today's video and talk about the thought process behind filing a lawsuit so quickly. So one of the first reasons why you would file a lawsuit so quickly is for discovery. When you file a lawsuit, the way you do it is you file with the court what's called a complaint. After you do that, you take that complaint and you give it to a process server who then serves the company or the person that you're suing. In Florida, what you can do is you can attach what's called discovery to that complaint. And discovery takes many different forms, but basically what it is it's a means to get information from the person that you're suing. So you can send interrogatories, which are written questions. You can send a request for production. You can even set depositions to question certain individuals under oath. The great thing about doing this is it preserves any sort of evidence. So without doing this, a company could possibly lose documents or maybe engage in some sort of cover-up. But what this does is it puts them on notice and it makes the consequences of any sort of cover-up much more significant. The second reason why it would be a good idea to file a lawsuit so quickly is that depending on the insurance policies that the construction company and the architects and everyone carries, the insurance companies, they set what's called policy limits. So that's the most amount of money that someone can get if they're injured in an accident. A lot of times what they'll do is, just for example, is they'll say, $1 million per person or $3 million per accident. So that means, if one person was injured, they could get up to $1 million. If you have 10 people injured, they all have to fight for that same $3 million. In this case, I read that 6 people lost their lives and 10 people were injured. So potentially you could have 16 people fighting for that same $3 million policy. So that's why it's a good idea to file so quickly, is you can at least put a claim in for a certain portion of that policy. And this is a case that will take a very long time to figure out who's at fault, because the architect is going to be saying it was the construction company is going to point the finger at the architect, and they're both going to point the finger to the state inspectors. So the only way to prove who's at fault in this case is to hire engineers and reconstruct the bridge to pinpoint exactly what caused the bridge to come down and who was responsible for that. But either way, this is a very complex case that I see taking years to resolve.